May profits be upon you. This is AUDUSD. I'm looking at the 4 hour. I want to set this up for later. I'm going to start trading for the New York session, but this is a setup that could apply to the London and New York sessions. Okay, let's see. What we want to do is set up some POIs, all right, some places of interest. All right, and I'm looking on 4 hour first because I want to get an idea of what the structure looks like. Look like we have some bearish structure here coming in with lower lows. This high breaks that breaks this swing high, and then makes a higher low and then a higher high. Interesting. And then we break that low, break structure to the downside. Market structure to the downside. And after this, what would we expect? Possibly a return to impulse, right? A return to impulse. So I'm looking for price to maybe make its way up. And after this V recovery here, all right, and we can see that price might be on its way to doing some things, all right? Now, what I want to do is track price in between supply and demand. I'm going to mark this supply, right? And this is a 4 hour supply. We want to track price in between that and demand. Now, this looks like a likely suspect here. So this one, two interesting areas. This would make a big demand area. Then we have to kind of pull back here to break structure. I do like these areas. I like these areas. I want to see if I can get something going on down here, right? So this is the absolute origin, I believe, because the low has been respected. All right. My doggone MT4 just got knocked offline. I don't know what the heck that's about, but it's not the thing I want done while I'm trying to give a doggone Webby. Okay. All right. Now, so we have a ceiling, we have a floor price. Now I'm going to go to sleep right after I do this. I'm going to bed right after this. Price could, decide to want to go higher, and that would be cool. But after a break of structure, which we will mark, all right, put it here because this is the highest point, it's taking the liquidity from up here and breaking that structure. Well, you expect a return to impulse. So I'm looking for some reaction to here, and down in this area. It could be here, it could be there. So I'm going to pick a couple of areas here. This one, I'm going to stop it short here. This is a decisional. All right. I'll have this one. This is the one I'm mainly banking on because you see, once price came back down here, how it ended up breaking structure. That's why I have this as the origin, right? We got this one, price tapped it and broke that high. So there's potential here, all right? This one is unmitigated. So, when you have an unmitigated one, sometimes you get a very strong reaction. So I'm going to mark that too. Sometimes you get a very strong reaction when you get those unmitigated order blocks. It'll be a tap and go sometimes. So I'm going to mark it. Okay. I'm driving myself crazy with trying to be perfect. All right. So I got these two. If price makes it through all those, I'm definitely looking at this bottom one for sure, because that is the origin. I think that's pretty good. All right. Now I want to go to the lower time frame, see what the price action might reveal. All right. You see how price is breaking these swing highs here, showing that bullish momentum. So I'm looking for price to kind of correct this move to a degree and up. Now, here's the deal. When you get these impulses, you want to measure them. I'm going to measure it from here with Fibonacci. And what do I want to see? I want to see price come back below the 50 percentile. All right, I want it to be at least a 61.8 pullback. I'm sorry that you can't see those numbers because I got a green field behind it. I will stretch this out so that you can see the numbers. Okay. There I go again. All right. Now, let's get rid of that. Hello. Hello. Thank you. All right. So I'm looking for at least a 618. So my area, those areas I chose, they look a little different with this. This price action becomes, you know, when you can see the price action a little clearer. So we can refine some of these areas, like this one. This one doesn't even have the same appeal anymore. Now, what I want you to also notice, we don't need this anymore, right? You just got to know that I'm looking for a price to come back into this area, 61.8 at the very least. All right, and that if it was to respond to this order block here, if it would just make the line. So I'm going to be very careful on this one. But if it gets past that, I'm looking down here. Okay. This one could probably be refined. See, this probing wick went past this order block. Otherwise, I would have did one of these numbers. All right. But I will not be in that. This tested all the way down there, penetrated all the way down to that low. So I'm going to leave that as it is. All right, that 4-hour order block. And I'm going to leave this one right here. Okay. And we'll see if price responds to it here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, we're going to see what Asia brings. Oh yeah, now I forgot to bring up this part. All right. Got some POIs there in place. Okay, so I'm looking for price. We want to make note that we have liquidity points, right? Sell side liquidity. This is all internal liquidity. Now, the thing is, when you see this probe, it knocked out all of this, right? All the stop losses that were here for people that took longs and triggered the people who were waiting for breakout trades to take shorts. It triggered them and then went back the other way. So will it come back down here? Will it correct this movement? Let me see what that looks like on a lower time frame. Okay, there is an order block here, right? A 15-minute order block here after the probe. That's interesting. So I'm definitely looking at that. Being that we had this probe, take out all that internal liquidity there. Definitely going to put this one on the map. Let me see something here. You know what? I'm going to take this whole bullish move here. All right. And we're going to see what's to see when price comes down here. Okay. Yeah. I'm happy I saw that. Okay. So we're going to need it all the way out here. I'm going to be sleeping for a few hours. So I guess so. All right. So I'm going to put 15 on that one. This one was an hour, right? Okay. So we got those. We got time. We're going to see what price wants to do. This is another unmitigated order block. All right. So when price comes down here, I'm thinking that we might have a pretty good reaction. And this is well within the zone that I'm looking for. But this is discount. Anything below 50% is discount prices for longs. Anything up here is retail pricing. There's a premium price where you pay the most and get stopped out. You know, price will react here, and you say, oh yeah, it's off the 38 fib. All right, and then it'll come down and crash through it, taking your stop loss out. So always below the 50%. Okay, wait for that discount price. All right, now then, I'm going to use the Asian range, and I'm going to mark off from the Asian range indicator. This is a FXN Asian range. All right, first thing I do is I mark the previous daily highs and lows. Right. This is the previous daily low. What else am I going to mark? I'm going to mark off. What I usually do is I move the highs and lows from the sessions, the Asian session and the London session. I move those over here. All right. Right now, we're just starting the Asian session. You know, we're into it now. So I'll mark these when I wake up. Okay. And then I'll mark the London session. But I usually mark the highs and lows of them because of the liquidity that is left at those highs and lows and how price will respect those levels like support and resistance. All right. And when you see a wick past it, you know that it's taking orders, it's taking sells, or it's taking buys, and it's stopping people out, taking stop losses and all. It's, you know, that these liquidity hunts. Okay. And that's what moves the market. So if you know that, you know, we can follow behind. We can follow behind the footprints of institutional trading. Okay. So there is my markups in a nutshell. Now I'm going to look for the session highs and lows. I'm going to definitely look out for the previous daily high, previous daily low, because this is where liquidity is, and price will undoubtedly head towards here. Boom, 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 boom. And when you see it break above, it usually stays above. All right. If it breaks above, then breaks back below, like sometimes you might see the London session find the high of the day. You know, it'll find that high, and then New York will get a similar price on a pullback, an OTE, if you will, optimum trading entry, optimum trade entry. All right, and then you'll see New York pull, you know, turn bearish. Sometimes you see the very opposite. London will find the low and then go up from there, and then you'll see the pullback in New York for a similar price, a similar discount price for a long, and they'll take it up to the previous day. I use these previous daily high, previous daily lows as targets. I use the session high, session lows as targets, TPs. And if I find an order block lined up with one of these, the session highs or the daily highs and lows, I will use it as confluence. All right, I hope that helps you. I will see you in the next video. Hey, let's check out Aussie USD for the New York session, because the last couple of days, it's been paying pretty well, all right? You know, I usually like to see GU and EU, those my, and USD CAD, but AUD has been kicking butt, all right? We had some news helping out GBP pairs last night. Last London session, but we'll see what's going on tonight. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Trade safely.